Hello and welcome to this weekend weather video. And we are in the deep freeze definitely today. It was good though. We had the sunshine out. Just a few patchy clouds in the afternoon, but sunshine. You could see this is Argyle Lake, completely frozen, except for that little area of water. Surprisingly, there's still a little bit of area of water there. And then the Great South Bay also, all frozen. This is from Babylon. You could see the Great South Bay there, completely frozen over. There's the Robert Moses Causeway Bridge over there. Yeah, completely frozen over. And yeah, I was also in the Pines at Pine Lawn today. The only place I could really walk around because the snow is just so deep. You really can't. Here we still have a lot of snow cover on the ground. A little less in New Jersey. So if I really want to go for a hike, I guess I'm going to have to go to Jersey because there's just too much snow to walk in here. And there's like a thin crust of ice on the top, and it's really hard to walk. And I almost tripped and fell down trying to. But anyway, it's cold out there, and you can see look at these extreme cold watches going all the way down to the southeast. And look at this big area of cold weather advisories here and that's going to be effect until 11 a.m. tomorrow. Right now, the temperatures are in the teens. Got 18 at Islip. You can see that dew point of -1 there. 19 at Farmingdale. 18 in Central Park. So we got upper teens. West Hampton is, what are they at? 18 right now. However, West Hampton was very cold this morning. There was radiational cooling there. They got down to 6 degrees below zero. So quite chilly, and you can see we also have a gale watch, and that's for that storm on Sunday that is just going to brush us. We're probably not even going to see much snow from it. And let's see, we do have a little bit of radiational cooling coil field, though. They're down to 5, and they got down to 0. Same thing for Toms River. So let's look at the low temperatures this morning because it was pretty cold in certain spots. 6 below at West Hampton. That's the coldest spot I think we have. That's how cold it gets in the Dwarf Pines there with that snow cover, low dew points, clear skies, and light winds. And then lows are generally around 10 degrees for the rest of Long Island. Though you do see some areas where it got down to 5. It got down to 5 in Dix Hills and 1 degree in Muttontown. Muttontown can be a cold spot too. So generally lows around 10, 14 in the city there, LaGuardia, 13 at JFK, 11 in Central Park. West Miami didn't get nearly that cold. And 6 degrees for a low in the Pine Barrens west of Toms River. So high temperatures today. Struggled to get above. We got into the mid-20s, amazingly. Let's see. 22 at Islip. Yeah, that's all we got. 22 at Shirley. 22 at West Hampton. 23 at Farmingdale. Generally mid-20s, just struggling to the mid-20s today. And Central Park only 23, 25 at LaGuardia, and 22 at JFK. And then looking at Jersey, not even warmer there. In fact, might have been a little colder. 21 around Toms River for a high. So, and then to the north and west also 20s. So we'll go and we'll look at our climatological report for Islip today, and a high of 22 and a low of 10. 17 degrees below normal for the high, 14 degrees below normal for the low, puts us 15 degrees below normal for the day. So again, very, very cold. We're definitely in the deep freeze. Arctic cold continues, offshore storm. So the Weather Service seems to think that if we go to this, they think that we might actually get some snow accumulation from it. Right now, it's looking less and less likely. But the wind chills, yeah, it's going to feel like it's below zero with these wind chills that we're going to have. Though the winds won't be too strong because the strongest winds will be on Sunday with that storm. So looking at our current temperatures, you can see the cold air all around us. And then also down south, and you can see this has got the winter storm watches, but also Florida, again, dealing with temperatures that are quite chilly for that area. Even right down to the Gulf, right down to the Gulf, it's pretty chilly. And it's going to get colder, I think, because take a look at our weather map. You'll see we've got more Arctic high pressure building down. This is the low that's going to become the storm. And here's our surface now. So again, you can see there's another reinforcing shot of Arctic air that's off to our north. So that's going to drop the temperatures down even more tomorrow, perhaps. So as far as winter weather goes, day 2, day 3 probability, you can see just a very little probability. It's mainly going to be a storm for the Carolinas and Virginia, that storm. So nothing really much to worry about with that. Let's look at our satellite imagery, and you'll see, again, fairly clear skies right now across the area. We had some scattered cumulus to some cirrus going by to the south. Other than that, not really seeing a whole lot of clouds around. We'll go to the MODIS satellite next, so go ahead and look at that. And this is the MODIS satellite. You can see all the snow cover. There are a few clouds, maybe a few stratocumulus here and there. But just you can see the ice here. This shows it up very nice. See the ice here. Kind of rhymes. But here's the ice in the Great South Bay right here. It's all frozen over. And we've got ice in the Hudson. We've got ice in the Peconic Bay. And so far, I'm not seeing any ice on the North Shore yet, on the Sound, but we may see that eventually too. We got ice in Barnegat Bay, and yeah, there's ice. You can see, you can sort of see the ice over here, and that is just something to see how cold it has been, for sure. Though, like I said, we haven't had, because we've had more of a westerly flow versus a northwesterly flow. We haven't had anything too crazy, although it's just been very cold. But that wind goes a little more northwesterly tonight, and that's what's going to change things. And you can see, again, panning out. Look at how far the snow cover goes across the country. It's really incredible. And you can see all that ocean effect, too, that's going on as well. So let's look at our satellite loop for the CONUS. Just show you the storm here. These are the players. This is the storm, but we've got this big high pressure building down. It's going to keep all that stuff pretty much away for the most part. So let's go look at the models for the weekend, and starting with the GFS, I guess. This is the latest run of the GFS. So you can see another big Arctic high builds down tomorrow, and then here's your storm taking shape. You can see it gets suppressed to well offshore. I don't think we see any snowfall on Long Island at all, honestly. Maybe the east end gets something, but this thing is going well to the south because, and this was what was supposed to happen with the last storm we got. It was supposed to get, but this one is actually getting suppressed and is going to miss us for the most part. But we will have coastal effects from it, and you can see that Arctic high pressure there because we're going to continue to be in that bitterly cold flow. Let's go look at the European model, 18Z European as well. European also now is going further east as well. So honestly, the only area that might see some measurable snowfall would be the east end, the extreme east end, like Montauk Point or something like that. That's what it's looking like right now because you see this big high pressure that's pushing it down, and so that is why we are going to get this offshore, and all the models seem to show this. Just change this to the eastern U.S., get a closer view. Icon as well, probably. I don't have the latest Icon run, but these are all 18Z runs I'm going with right now. Yep, well offshore. European, well offshore. We can go to the 12Z run, which takes it a teeny bit closer, but still not. Very little would be from that. That's the 12Z run on the Euro. 12Z run on the GFS. I mean, it stays well offshore. So I really think we're not going to see much from this storm at all. The main thing we're going to be dealing with is just the extreme cold that we are going to be dealing with. So let's go and take a closer look at our short-range models here with the HRRR, which is not going to show the storm, but we'll show you that we will be dry for the storm. This is the storm all the way down here on the HRRR, right? But it shows that we are going to be dry and just very cold. So this is what happens tomorrow. So you see we've had more of a west wind. Well, it becomes more northwesterly tomorrow, and that is going to bring in colder air. Dew points are going to go even lower than they have been. Dew points down like maybe 10 to 20 below dew points potentially. At least all the dew points can be below zero. It does come back up. It's interesting how it comes back up during the day. It's really quite interesting that happens. I'm not sure if that's the sun shining onto the snowpack that's causing more moisture. Maybe that's why we've had some clouds around, but kind of interesting that happens. It kind of pulls it back, but then it drops again at night. Again, so you see the low dew points, light winds, and I think we have the potential to have some of our coldest temperatures, perhaps, if not Friday morning, Saturday morning. And then as we go into Saturday, the winds go a little more northerly there, all right? But that's still going to keep the cold air in place, the bitterly cold air. So here's the HRRR here. Tonight, the HRRR is calling for lows around 0. Now, the HRRR has been a little bit bullish on the low temperatures. We haven't. I'm not sure if we're going to get down quite that low, but I think single digits are pretty much a good possibility everywhere. There's radiational cooling. Pine Barrens go below 0. And then tomorrow, we struggle to get to the teens, maybe mid-teens. That's all that we are going to see. It's going to be colder tomorrow than it was today. And then tomorrow night, I think, has the potential to be much colder. I think with the radiational cooling, I think a lot of sites are going to get too close to 0 or below 0. The Pine Barrens for sure could get there. And then here we are on Saturday with temperatures still struggling to the teens. So very remarkable situation that we have right now. We will go ahead and look at our soundings now for tomorrow. We'll start at 16Z. See what we've got here. These two lines are close together, which indicate, again, that low-level moisture situation that we've been having. A little less over New Jersey, though I do see a little more of a push of perhaps some mid- or upper-level moisture over there. Going to 18Z, that push continues. Those lines are kind of close together, looking at Long Island. Yeah, they're almost touching here, so I think we will have... The HRRR is saying that we have more clouds. The HRRR overdid the clouds on the forecast today, so I'm not so sure we're going to see that many clouds. HRRR has been overdoing it lately on the cloud cover, I will say. So we will look at some other models when it comes to the temperatures. Let's go to the European next. So this is the European for the temperatures, and again, it does have the temperatures getting close to 0 in a lot of locations. And then we are seeing those temperatures struggle to the mid-teens tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the coldest day we've had in a long time. And then here we are Saturday, and we are dealing with Saturday morning, again, dealing with some very cold temperatures in the morning, and then it really struggles to get up to the mid to upper teens. So I think we have 2 days in a row where we're not even going to see 20 degrees. That's unbelievable. So expect more freezing of things. And then as the storm goes by, on Sunday, you'll see the temperatures stay cold. Maybe we'll get close to 20, but that north flow pretty much keeps the cold air locked in place. Dew points, again, we still have the low dew points, but you'll notice the strong wind barbs. So we're going to have wind on Sunday. I think a wind advisor is probably going to be needed for Sunday. And again, precipitation, we can look at total accumulated precip just on this, and you can see very little. Less than 0.1. Maybe at most some areas of the East End and extreme Jersey Shore get a coating, but that's about it. That is about it. We can look at the GFS as well. Total snowfall. Yeah, it doesn't even show anything. All right, we'll go to the NAM now. The NAM 12 does take us a little further out. NAM doesn't show anything either, by the way. So this storm is a complete miss. For our area. They're going to get pounded in the southeast, the Carolinas especially, but for our area, nothing. It will stay dry, which is good because we don't need another snowstorm on top of the snow that we already have, which is causing a lot of problems for people getting around. So let's go look at the sky models, shall we? So I'm going to go to use the NAM first for sky models. All right, so here's the NAM for tomorrow, and it's not showing much cloud cover here at all. Maybe a little bit. You see, there's a little, still getting some lake effect, and that may go over Long Island, perhaps less likely over New Jersey. And then Saturday, we would deal with the high clouds, but they may be kept just to the south as well. So RGEM is up next. This is the 0Z RGEM that we have. So it should take us through most of it. Here's the RGEM for tomorrow. Of course, keeping it mostly sunny for the most part. This is always maybe a little overly optimistic. And then for Saturday, again, doesn't really... Saturday, again, tries to keep those high clouds at bay until later in the day. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But Saturday, you'll probably start off with sun, and then there'll be some increasing high clouds, probably. But that still allows for a clear night Friday night, Saturday morning, which will absolutely be frigid. There you have the FV3 as well for skies. So let's go ahead and look at that. Is the FV3, and you can see what happens tomorrow. So we start off sunny, and then a whole bunch of clouds just blossom, especially over Long Island by the noon to late afternoon. That could be over New Jersey, just because even though this is very cold and the dew points are very low, for some reason there's a little moisture getting picked up, and there's a whole bunch of, we're in the periphery of the high pressure, so we're not over the center of it, but this is going to be, if there are more clouds and the sun isn't out, it's going to make it that much feel that much worse. And then for Saturday, we'll see those high clouds kind of increase later on. This is the FV3, which is the high-resolution GFS model. So the main challenge with the forecast is just the clouds. That's going to be the hardest part of it all, I think. I'm going to show you Ventu Sky next with the cloud cover as well. So, and put this in here as well. And you can see what we're going to be dealing with in the morning here. 7 in the morning. It's showing bullish. This may be a little overly bullish if we have the wind. But this is pretty chilly here. And then, again, we'll struggle to the teens here. By noon, we're still only 12. But you'll see if I show clouds, you'll see already it's showing a lot of clouds developing around noon, 11 o'clock. But it's always less over noon. This may be overdone. But I think there's anywhere that's going to get more cloud cover, it's probably going to be, because it looks like a remnants of a lake effect streamer that would wind up going over Long Island. This may be overdone. All right, because this is the only model that shows up. Still, I'm a little leery because I do rely on this model. It's a better model. It's a rapid refresh model, and we'll have to see what happens with that. Now Saturday, see what happens Saturday. We actually are sunny, and we start off sunny, and then the clouds, high clouds, start to come in by the afternoon, but our morning is clear. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens with that. Let's go and talk about the wind next, and I guess we'll use windy for that because that's our other concern. We're gonna have coastal impacts here for our area, even though we're not really gonna see any precipitation. We will be dealing with the wind from this storm. So these are the sustained winds. I'm gonna put this into wind gusts here, and you can see some of the wind gusts. At the very least, you'd need a wind advisory for eastern Suffolk County, at the very least. The worst of the winds seem to stay offshore because now the storm is further away. So we're spared the worst of the winds. The Cape Cod will wind up getting into some of the really crazy winds. Like there's a sharp cutoff, but you can see the Cape Cod has 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts there possible. But for Long Island, it's looking less likely that we're going to see those stronger winds because the storm's further away. But there's still a pressure gradient, and it's still going to be possibly gusting closer to 50 on the east end. So the wind advisory probably for eastern Suffolk County at this point with this. The other issue is it's going to kick up the ocean. So we'll go ahead and look at that again. Ocean. Where's the sea? Waves. Here we go. So here's the waves, and again, you see that the waves get picked up. We'll have a north wind, so it's not going to be really. There could be some minor beach erosion from the storm. Definitely. So we'll have to see with that. But I guess that wraps it up. So just you ready for the frigid weather that we're going to be getting for the next couple of days. It's going to be very cold. And have a good night. Stay warm.